Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing splendid. Um, it is officially December 1st today. So let the countdown begin. Have you guys started your Christmas shopping yet? I've done some. I have quite a bit. I wouldn't say quite a bit. I still have some to do. And then of course all like the stocking stuff. But it was funny because my 13-year-old a few weeks ago was like, are we gonna do those calendars again with the chocolate? And I was like, chocolate, oh, the advent calendars. And he was like, yeah, can we do those? And I was like, yeah, totally. Like, he's 13, his brother's 16, so like little things like that they like still want to do kind of excite me. They're still like at that age where it's exciting for them to like count down to Christmas and stuff. So I got them for him, and I kept saying like December 1st is when we start it. So my older son, my 16-year-old, comes out of his room this morning, and he's like half awake, and he looks at me and he's like, can we do like the chocolate thing? And I was like, what? He's like, that chocolate thing that we were supposed to start in December. I'm like, oh, the advent calendar. I said, yeah, go like, wash up or whatever, and then you could do it. So he goes and washes up, and then he comes out, and I'm sitting there helping him because he's like, he has glasses but he won't wear them, so he's like looking for like the like perforation or whatever. So he does his. I go listen to Slipknot at 6:45 in the morning, driving him to school, that whole playlist. I get back home, I wake up my younger son, and he comes out of his room, and I was like, well, he came out of his room, he went right away and like washed up. So he comes out, and I was like, oh, your advent calendar, do you want to do it? And he's like, I just brushed my teeth, Mom. I was like, okay. So he'll do his in the afternoon. But yeah, it's exciting. I think having kids really brings the excitement back to Christmas. Before I had them, I hadn't had a Christmas since I was 15, so probably a good 10 years until I had them. And they just bring the magic back, and it's so exciting for me, as a mom, to try and get them like some nice things. I have really good boys, so I love Christmas time because it's like, I want to reward them in a way for, being such good kids and appreciative kids. So I'm pretty excited about it. Naturally, it's stressful. But I, always will do my best, and they know that, and they appreciate whatever they get. So I'm pretty excited. We decorated the day after Thanksgiving, me and my older son. My younger son's not really into decorating. Like, he likes when everything's decorated, but he's never been into it like my other son. Brennan has always been into helping with Christmas decorations, Halloween, whatever. He loves decorating. So we did it the day after Thanksgiving, so everything is very festive. We hung up the stockings, and it just looks really cozy and nice with all the lights on. We got lights everywhere. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited. Down to the crunch time though. The countdown is on, and I gotta finish up the things. Besides that, not much has been going on. Therapy went well this week. I kind of vented to her about kind of like co-parenting and how it is tricky, especially around like holidays and birthdays, because I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but my kids are mostly vocal on things that they want for like their birthday, Christmas. So I then tell their dad the things that they want. And this guy, every year, for every birthday and holiday, he doesn't listen, and he'll just go and get them clothes. And I'm like, look, they have clothes. Like, sometimes, yeah, they need like a few extra things here and there, but usually I buy it throughout the year. like when they actually need something. So like if they're low on joggers, I'll order some, like whatever. So he does this thing where I will have them send him stuff like, oh, send dad things that you want, gift ideas, whatever. And he has this obsession with shopping at Dick's Sporting Goods for clothes for 2 teenage boys. And I'm like, first of all, I specifically said, no clothes. They don't need clothes. They have plenty of hoodies, joggers, jeans, shorts. Like they have plenty of everything. They're good. He drops them off, bitching and moaning that he wanted to go do shopping and they slept in and blah, blah, blah. Now, first of all, if they're sleeping in and you want them up by a certain time, wake them up by the certain time. If they don't know that you had plans in your head, they're going to sleep. They're teenagers. It's their Sunday. It's their weekend. Like they're going to sleep. So, so he was pissed off about that, bitch and moan and blah, blah, blah. So he's like, I'm going to go get them clothes. I said, Kevin, they don't need clothes. I'm going to get them some nice hoodies and stuff. Like they could use nice hoodies. I'm like, okay. So now this is how this plays out. He's going to spend money on clothing that they do not need. And then I'm going to go through their drawers in 6 months because they have too much clothing, and the things that he generally buys them, they don't end up wearing. Like he goes on these kicks where he gets my son jeans. My son wears the same like 4 pairs of jeans. He had about 20 pairs. I had to throw out at least 10. He's good with jeans. He doesn't wear them all the time anymore. He likes joggers too. So he went and spent money. He probably spent a couple $100 on clothes instead of spending the money on things that they actually asked for. So I have to be careful how I talk to him to not basically fuck up the co-parenting common ground that we have going on. But when I tell you, it makes me livid that he does this every single fucking year for the past few years now. And the thing is, without their grandmother, she was like a big help during holidays and birthdays. She like went all out. Without her, it's on me if he's not getting them anything that they're asking for. It all falls on me to make it happen because we're making up for a person that's missing, that is no longer with us. And then he's not helping at all. He's getting whatever he feels that he should get them. So naturally I brought this therapy and I just blurred it all out. And she was like, her first response was, why doesn't he just get them what they're asking for? Like you told him they don't need clothes. Why is he getting them clothes? I said, this is why I'm talking to you. Because it's like, is it me? Am I the problem? Like, I don't know. But it's like super frustrating for me. So it's also part of why I'm stressed because Christmas is special, you know what I mean? Especially as kids. And I can't afford to get them everything that they want. And they're fully aware of that. And they're going to appreciate whatever they do get. So I'm not saying I need to go out and buy them every single thing they asked for. And they know they're not going to get every single thing they asked for. They send me ideas and I do what I can. But without him getting them things, that means I have to try and pick the things that they truly, truly wanted. But also, they're expensive kids now. They're older. So one of them needs a phone, doesn't just want one. He needs one. His is broken. And I like them having their phones on them when they go to school or their friend's house, whatever. So he can't have a broken phone. He needs a phone. My other son, his phone's fine. Doesn't need one. My other son, however, is heavily into airsoft. If you don't know what airsoft is, it's kind of like BB guns, but the pellets aren't metal. I think that's like what the difference is. Airsoft is super expensive. The guns are expensive. All the little things that go with it, he likes to upgrade his. So like the engines themselves are like $400. So for him especially, you know, I explained to him, your things are more expensive, which means you'll get less. Like that's just how this is going to work out. And he understands that. He put some different type of stuff on his list. So I'm just really trying to make it a nice Christmas for them, because I know when they see a huge bag of clothes, they're obviously going to be thankful and, you know, say, oh, thank you. These are nice. But it's not what a kid wants to open at Christmas. When you're an adult, getting clothes, yes. Getting new socks, oh my God, yes. All the time, send me new socks. But as a kid, that's not what kids want. If they need it as a parent, that's something you buy throughout the year. You don't wait till Christmas to buy them a big bag of clothing. Like that's like saying, you know, putting toothpaste in their stocking. Oh, you need toothpaste. Here you go. Merry Christmas. So then, that's what's kind of going on right now. It was nice to talk to my therapist and have her be like, what the fuck? So yeah. So today is Friday. It's December 1st. I am heading out shortly to go and get myself a coffee as a reward. For what? I don't know, but I still have money on my gift card. So I'm going to get a Starbucks coffee and then go sit at the school and wait for my son. I was going through like, you know, different like videos on Instagram, and I came across this guy, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of his videos, but he basically always talks about, what was that? Did you see that? That was weird. He basically always talks about, like, for example, the one he had today was like, you know, if your mom is that mom that's like super annoying and is always checking up on you, that's because you're a piece of her. And like, she loves you more than anyone's going to love you and blah, blah, blah. Like he always talks to the kid as if it's, you know, the type of kid that's like, oh, my mom's so annoying. She's always checking up on me. And the one he posted today was like really kind of hit home. He was like, you know, you're a part of your mother. So anytime you leave the house, a part of her is leaving. Like she is not complete without you. And I try like saying this stuff to the boys. Like I actually sent them both that video because, you know, as a kid, I don't think you realize how important you are. Now, this isn't for all parents, but like me growing up, like my mom before drugs was very much how I am with my kids. She was very nervous whenever we left the house. If we were at a friend's house, it was like, you know, what are you doing? Where you going? Who you with? I never personally found it annoying, but I know some kids do. But now as a mother, like I think about all the times I was out walking around all hours of the night, like with my friends. And if something would have happened to me, how that would have impacted her. Because like, you know, if my son is out with his friends, you know, let's say they go to a football game, school football game or whatever, and he's like there with kids, like my instant fear starts creeping up. Like, are these kids being nice to him? What if like they're those type of kids like that you hear in news stories where the kids like beat up this kid and like left him behind a dumpster? And like my brain, obviously I have mental health issues and different diagnoses, whatever. But my brain starts going crazy because my biggest fear in life is something happening to them. My kids are literally my world. They're literally the only reason I am on this earth still. Without them, I don't think, I know I wouldn't be able to survive. Like, they're what brings purpose to my life. So whenever I see different videos explaining that stuff, like there was another one today where it was like, your firstborn is basically, they need you because they're growing and they're, becoming the person that they're going to be. But for the mom, that's like your best friend, because that they're the first one that you go through all these milestones with. So there is like a certain bond, and it's very true. Like I say all the time, without Brendan, I don't know where my life would have taken me. I wasn't in a healthy place or going down a healthy path. When I found out I was pregnant with him, my life was complete chaos. I was homeless. It was just horrible. So, when I got pregnant with Brendan, all of a sudden everything was about him. So it was like I moved with my brother. I lived with him until after I had Brendan. Then I moved in with their dad at his parents' house. But like from that moment that I found out I was pregnant, it was like everything was all about this baby. My life would revolve around this baby. And that was it. It was like instant. How do I survive? How do I do this? And growing up, my mom didn't really work much. She was on welfare until we were like teenagers. So I had this misunderstanding of how people survived, like how you kept a roof over your head, how you paid for food. Our money that we paid for food was colored money because it was food stamps. And that was before there were EBT cards and stuff. And all I could think about was like, okay, found a home. We're at my brother's house. I got to get a good job. How do I find a good job? I thought I got a good job. I was making absolute shit money. Me and the dad split up, so I needed a place to live, moved back with my brother for a little bit. Just like, there was just so much that Brendan basically went on the ride for. But not once did it didn't disrupt his life in any way. Any of like the big jumps that I had to make, like when me and his dad finally ended things for good. I had to get an apartment. I lived in Fall River. Him and his brother never felt any bumps in the road. Everything stayed consistent for them. Their grandmother's house was basically the house they grew up in. So everything that I went through, they didn't necessarily feel it. They noticed change, but it was important for me for them to not feel the bumps in the road, because I, growing up, felt the bumps in the road. When my mom cheated on her longtime boyfriend, my mother literally moved out of that house and left everything of mine, my entire bedroom, left it all behind. So I felt that, because now I didn't have like any of my childhood stuff. I didn't have like these important things that I had had my whole life. We moved into a shitty ghetto apartment. She met a shitty man that treated us like shit, treated her like shit. And I felt those bumps. So my biggest thing when me and their dad wasn't working out was, we need to figure out how to do this. And I need to put my broken heart aside to make sure these kids come first. And they're the only things that matter. Everything else, my pain, my frustration, my anger, none of that can matter, or it can't matter in front of them. Was I perfect? Absolutely not. I had my times where I cried and, they witnessed it, but I'm only human at the same time. You know what I mean? And I think as kids, we look at as parents as like these know all be all, and like they have everything figured out because they're adults. But now as an adult, I'm 41 years old and now I have shit figured out. I figured out how to do certain things and how to maintain a lifestyle and pay bills, so you don't get kicked out. Different things like that. But I think as a kid, you look to your parents thinking they know everything because they're old, basically. So yeah, so the whole point of that was to say, it sucks sometimes when I feel like I am talking to a wall when I'm just trying to make sure like things are going smooth for the boys and like they're going to have a nice Christmas and that type of thing. It's like, it's really difficult when you have to co-parent with someone that doesn't put in the same amount of work. You know what I mean? Like I have bit my tongue till it bleeds to make the waters calm and to not ruffle feathers. I hold back a lot. And, I told my therapist, my fear is one day it's all going to come out and I'm just going to fuck shit up. The bridge is going to be burnt, blown up and under, 10,000 feet of water. Like it's going to happen. I only have a few more years until they're 18. So, so once they're both 18, I don't have to be nice. I don't have to engage anymore. But I still have a few more years of that. So until then I have therapy and that's what we're going to use therapy for. I was like, you need to tell me how to talk to him so I don't like fuck everything up. And she's like, can't you just say like, why don't you listen to me? I said, no, no, if I could say that, I totally would. But it's just not how he works. It's not going to work. So anyway, I am going to head out and go get my coffee. Maybe I'll do a car video. Let's see. But I'm going to go get my coffee. I hope you guys are great. Feel free to drop your comments. Let me know if you guys co-parent and what that looks like. And do you guys spend holidays together? Do you spend birthdays together? Because we do, which adds on an extra amount of stress probably. But whatever. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I hope you all have a great day and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks. Bye.